Hello and good day. We actually our faces are showing today.
No. Hi. Hey, what's up, everyone?
I can no longer hide
Good
behind my.
morning. Oh, hey, everybody. Uh, I don't know. Good morning, good evening, and good night, depending on where you are. Welcome to Into the 99, where we have 99 cards because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Sherman.
I'm Brian.
I'm Daniel. Hope's not here today. She's off working.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that beautiful guy up in the top left. There's two types of people
uh,
here. There's one with a slushy, one with a coffee, and one with a beer.
It's not a slushy. This is Starbucks, you animal.
Oh, it looked like slushy to me.
No, that's just because it's in a comically large cup.
Oh, as always.
oh,
So
okay.
today we're talking another set of the partners. We're talking Bralin, Sky Shark Rider, and Shabraz the Sky Shark. The most fun card name to say in Magic.
Sky
Shabraz,
Shark.
Shabraz the Sky Shark.
and then that Bralin guy. No one really cares
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah, Bralin. Woo. Well, let's go over the cards real fast here, guys. So,
Before
Bralin is.
before we before we
Oh,
get into that, Sherman, you have to tell the lore of these two. It's very very simple lore. Do you know it or no?
uh, no, I
It
don't.
looks like a deer stuck in headlights.
Easiest lore. It's Bralin is an adventurer. One day when he was out exploring the Raugrin Triome, he caught the unusual sight of a flying shark. He decided the monster would make a great trophy to brag about in his hometown of Lababrink. Bralin attacked the shark, who was surprised by the puny little human punching him really hard. After a long fight, they ended up bonding with each other. They share their love for adventure and exploration. Simple lore. He punched a
Wow.
shark.
And the
Wow.
shark did not eat him.
Shark punch.
I don't know if that's kind of I don't read the lore, to be honest, or read much of it, and I don't know, like the summary that you gave me, it sounds like they really like didn't care. They put no effort into the storyline for him.
Not even a little bit. At
This
least
guy
Trin and
punched the
Silvar
shark,
had,
and now they're
yeah,
friends.
Trin and Silvar had a little bit of lore at least, but yeah, this one,
Oh,
not
Trinity
really.
so far was dope, but this is just like I punch a shark. It's like Dan, you and me, like I punch you, and you just like kind of like laugh at me, like and then we bond. That's
Oh, that's not. I'm gonna have to
I'm,
rework my overlay for any future streams that we do of this.
oh, how come?
The card kind of gets cut off a little bit, but there's Bralin. I'm gonna have to retype in Shabraz. Leave it up
Um,
for a second here.
well. Do
Oh
you have
no,
Braylen up right now, or Shabraz
I
up
have
right now?
Bralin up right now.
Okay.
Shabraz.
Well, I'll just read out Braylen because we are gonna put this on the podcast for people to listen to, anyways. So it's not like they can read off of it. So Braylen Sky Shark Raider. It's a 3 in a red. Okay, legendary creature, human shaman. That's a 3/3. So it partners with Shabraz, and whenever you discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Bralin, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Has one
Okay.
spooge.
Awesome. Yeah, and then you can pay a red, and target shark gains trample until end of turn. Um, I had to say some. Well, I'll say something about the ability right now, actually, before I forget. That ability, yeah, sure, it's great with Shabraz, but there's like virtually no sharks in the Magic in the cards.
What are you talking about? Those the voracious great shark.
Oh, there's also Shark,
No,
like the Sharknado card, Shark Typhoon. That works pretty good in this set.
that works great in set, but if like you know me, I like looking at the older stuff, right? Like there's Hammerhead Shark, but that is a 2/3, and it has Island Home. That's the only reason why I know of the card, because it has Island Home. I have an Island Home deck, okay?
Yep.
Like even great or Giant Shark, okay? It's an old card. It has like a great white on it. It's a fish. It's not considered a shark. It's considered a fish.
Hope
Yeah.
Hope did point out that there is that pouncing shore shark that she's absolutely terrified of.
Hope's Nightmare Shark. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the comic book version of that one. It's so dope. It's so cool.
You should frame that and give it as a gift.
Talking about Bralin first before we get into it, his target shark gains trample ability is okay, but let's look at his other ability, the discard a card and put a 1/1 counter on him. 1 damage to each
And deal damage.
That's really, really good. Any deck that runs the same Minotaur kind of effect, the Hazoret deck where you're trying to discard things, any Rakdos deck with a discard theme like George's, who's the Titan? I'm drawing a blank on right now.
Uros? Or...
No, Kroxa.
Kroxa.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, this is still a solid card. It's a 3/3 at 4. He gets stronger on every time you discard. But with the newest card, Riel the Everwise, like, this is a great one in that because you're trying to wheel and deal through so quickly. The same with any of the Xeris, the Writhing Storm, any of those wheel and deal effect cards is going to really, really, if you have 40 cards in your hand and you discard them to draw a new hand, that kills the table, right? This is a great card on its own.
Or you can do what I do and have grafted exoskeleton in the deck.
Yep.
And put it on Bralin. All you have to do is discard 10 times and you're good to go.
Well, and every discard is hitting for 3 essentially because of the format we play, right? Which does make it significantly stronger. Obviously, the theme between the two is to draw a bunch of cards. He gets strong, you discard, but realistically, like, you are every discard. Every time you overdraw your hand, you're gonna ping for 3 total damage. You're lightning bolting across the table for 3 every turn.
And that's each opponent and not just a single target. Like, this is kind of like a little bit of a better, or well, not better, but it's almost like the red version of Blood Artist or something along those lines. That's pinging.
Yeah, he also gets pretty big with it, and we can't forget that Shabraz can give him flying, which is like Shabraz's ability to give target human flying is a lot more versatile than the target shark trample.
Yeah, and again,
that means
like in our games last night, no one had blockers for flying. Flying just kept hitting everyone.
Yeah.
No, not everyone has an answer. Not every color has a great answer for flying. Honestly, like even
like green's the weakest for that.
Late.
Well, green has reach. Green has big creatures with reach. They don't have flying, but
big creatures late into the game with reach.
Yeah, I guess so. But with ramp, you can get them out mid game.
Yeah.
The way I look at Bralin though, like Bralin and Shabraz as partners are really great, but I'm willing to play Bralin alone, especially in a Hazoret deck.
Well, yeah, Hazoret is a solid commander, and like the ability to discard and ping everyone is wicked.
Oh yeah, it's so cool.
Hazoret's doing 2 damage to each opponent per discard as well.
Yeah,
it's each or target. I can't remember. I have a Hazoret deck.
Yeah, it does discard and deals 2 damage to. Yeah.
So with that, with the Minotaur one that does the same thing, and that, like, you're able to pay 3 ping and have your indestructible 5/4 online. Hazoret's great.
Hazoret's so good.
I think that's one of the commanders that I rarely see, so I don't really know it.
It's because you have to have like. It's because you have to have like no hand. Yeah.
Is it which one? Hazoret the Fervent or the Undying?
Hazoret the Fervent. So it's indestructible 5/4 with haste, and it can't attack or block unless you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand.
Oh, and discard a card, and Hazoret deals 2 damage to each opponent. Oof.
I would actually love to, at some point, talk about that deck, because it's a really, really weird deck. It's the total opposite I like to play. No cards in hand, very, very weird, instead of like usually like a 40-card hand size.
Hot Tub Hope says, do it!
Okay, let's talk about Shabraz a little bit here now.
They are partners. I didn't even think of that. The cardstock brokers with Bralin into the Locust God deck. That is wicked because it wheels and deals so much. And Locust God has the built-in draw discard.
And to make.
That is, and make tokens. That's solid.
Yeah. So, like, we'll go into it because I'm pretty sure I put in Locust God into the deck here. Yeah, I did.
Well, let's start into the creatures and stuff.
Well, we haven't even talked to Shabraz.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We got to talk about the shark.
We got to talk about a partner here, a flying shark. Okay, so Shabraz or Sky Shark, okay. 3 white and a blue. All right, partners with Bralin, yeah. All right, whenever you draw a card this time, so not just card, it's the opposite. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on Shabraz, and you gain 1 life. Okay, and for a hybrid, white or blue, okay, target human gains flying until end of turn. Okay, and Shabraz is a 3/3.
I
So
really enjoy the life gain out of this, as well as
yeah,
buffing
Oh yeah.
him.
it can go crazy.
Like it
Okay,
looks like a perfect combo of this one triggers when I draw a bunch of cards. Like it really makes sense to make it into a wheel and deal type of deck.
Yep.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't even include any of the reliquary towers or like the other ones that give you infinite hand
you
size
want to
because
get rid
you
of
want to
it.
discard.
Yeah, you wouldn't bother with like Library of Lang or Spellbook or things like that, right? Or like what is it? Folio of Fancies.
Yeah. But something like Alhamerit's Archive in this deck like is suddenly drawing you 2, gaining 2 life every time you draw. So every draw turns into 2 life gained and an extra card. Like it's silly.
Yeah. So, but this one, you guys know me. I like my budget. I kept this under $100.
Okay.
So, but
When are you gonna make your non-budget deck? Everything we see has a budget to it.
true.
Oh, I've got to sneeze. Brutal.
Hatsui.
A chewy.
I'm trying not to.
But like overall, though, I've seen other people, like after I made my deck, I've seen other people, like I always look and see what other people have done after I've made my own, you know, and a lot of people have done like drawing discard and cycling and stuff like that. So, and a really popular one is wheeling. Mine is I have to say mine is pretty similar, but I try to use a lot more instants and creatures for drawing and discarding. So like I'm not trying to do it on sorcery speed. Sorry, I need a Kleenex here. So but let's go through the creatures here real quickly. Excuse me. All right. So the way I did it is that I have creatures that either let me loot or rummage, or I literally look at it and I'm like, I'm going to discard you, and I don't care, and I just make that decision easy. Okay, because let's look at it this way. Okay, if I had nothing but pure gas, and I'm just like sitting there for 5 minutes, so I'm like, I have to discard 3 cards. 10 minutes goes by. I'm still deciding on 1 more card, guys. That's annoying. All right. I made this really, really simple. These cards you want to keep. These cards you want to get rid of. Done and done. So, and for instance, the very first card we have for creatures, I don't have many creatures. I have like 25 creatures, but that's neither here nor there.
That's low.
Yeah, well, you're drawing and discarding so much, it makes no difference.
Well, yeah, and I guess like most of the decks that I make are always creature heavy, and I'm usually sitting around like 34 creatures, so I can get it.
Yeah. And you know me, like like my Locust God, you see how powerful it is. I think it has like 22 creatures.
Oh wow! But if your god makes blockers, then you really don't need them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's get into these creatures, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
There's just so much to talk about.
So the first creature I have is a Dorn Pouncer. Okay, it's a 1 and a white. It's a 1/1 double strike. It has Eternalize. Okay, so Eternalize cost is 3 white. Sorry?
No, I was just saying hey to Dan in the chat there.
Oh, hey. So Eternalize is 3 white, and if I exile this the card from the graveyard, I create a 4/4 black zombie cat with mana cost, or with no mana cost. So basically, I can discard the Pouncer. Later on, when I have the mana, I can bring it back for 5 mana. It's a 4/4 double strike.
Yep.
Yeah, that's mean.
Like I said, easy. I can cast it for real cheap if I want 1/1 double strike. It's not that bad. Okay, especially early game. But if I need to discard it, pop, it goes away. Don't care, because I want it in the graveyard eventually.
No, that's a
So,
great one actually.
um, the next one I have here is Angel of Sanctions. Okay, 3 white white. All right, Angel 3/4. When Angel of Sanctions enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until the Angel leaves play. Okay, and it has Embalm. Okay, for what is it? 6
Five.
mana, 5
Yeah.
in a white. Okay, so I can bring it back. It becomes a zombie, and it's a 3/4, but it does the same thing. So another thing that I'm just like, I can look at it and I'm like, don't care, toss it away. Okay, now this next one's so much fun. Barbed Shocker. Okay, 3 in a red, insect, trample haste. It's a 2/2. Whenever Barbed Shocker deals damage to a player, that player discards all the cards in his or her hand, then draws that many cards.
It's a
Fun
2/2
times.
with trample haste. Amazing.
Yeah. Now, Barbed Shocker, if I can get it, if I can attack with it, fantastic. Okay, and get actual damage, fantastic. But I have Barbed Shocker and I have another card called Shocker, which does the same thing, but I think it's a 1/1 instead. It's later on. But I have equipment in this deck where you can tap a creature and it deals 1 damage and pings someone or a creature.
Oh, of course, in red.
Okay. Yeah. So I put the equipment onto the Barb Shocker or Shocker. Okay, and then I'll ping myself. Okay, so if I have 7 cards, I'm gonna take 1 damage. I'm gonna discard 7 cards. Everyone will take 7 damage, and then I'll draw 7 cards and gain 7 life.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
And both, yeah, and Bralin and Shabraz are gain 7 1/1 counters.
Yeah, that's some value right there.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
It's all good.
I think it's hilarious.
Adult stream today.
Yeah, just please remember to edit that, Dad. Thank you. Love you.
He's like, no.
You can... No, never, never. So, yeah, it's early for us. Does anyone else want to talk for a bit? Or should I keep going?
Keep going,
No, keep going with some of the creatures, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go a little bit fast here for some of them. So some of them might have a self-fed broker. Okay. 3 in a blue, 2/2. I tap it. Target player draws 2 cards and discards 2 cards. Okay.
Which with both commanders out, that is solid. You're drawing 2, gaining 2 life, getting 4 total counters.
Oh yeah.
And damage to everyone. Awesome card.
I like this card more than other ones because there's a lot of cards, a lot of creatures that are 3 mana, like 2 in a blue or a red or something like that, where you tap it and you draw a card, discard a card. You only get 1. Okay, this one for 1 extra mana. Okay, it's a little bit stronger because both of those creatures are normally 1/1s. This one's a 2/2, but you get to draw 2 and discard 2. That's way better. Okay. So
I have to say, you never really see that creature type anymore.
I think there's only like 12 or 15 of the creature type. I can't remember. So I was thinking about owning one just cause, but yeah, you never really see it anymore. I have Champion Wits, which is a 2 in a blue for a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, you may draw cards equal to its power. If you do, discard 2 cards. But it has Eternalize once again, so it's a little costly. It's 5 in a blue.
That is expensive, Sherman.
It's expensive, but
if you're not discarding it as well, you can also play it early game.
Yep.
In a worst case scenario, it's something you discard, and if in best case scenario, it also works with both your commanders. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, and plus when you Eternalize it, it's a 4/4, so you're drawing 4 and discarding 4. Why not?
Yep, like it'll pay off if you get down to end game. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cheap. It's like 50 cents for a rare. Like, one of the newer cards, Dream Trawler. I had to put this one in. Okay. 2 white, white, blue, blue. Crazy-ish casting cost. Okay. It's a Sphinx. 3/5 flying lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, all right, Dream Trawler gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Already awesome. And then, whenever it attacks, you draw a card. Awesome. So it gets bigger just from attacking. And then if you discard a card, it gains hexproof until end of turn, and you tap it. So stupid. So it does everything yet you want.
I saw this, and I really
Its
wanted to
ability
use it.
just to be a discard outlet is also very strong.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You just discard like crazy. You just don't care. So, and then if Bralin's out, it's just like, okay, ping, 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 ping. And then, it gets bigger. Like, it's a high casting cost, but who cares? Oh, let's see what else I have here. Oh, this one's fun. Forgotten Creation. Okay, 3 in a blue. 3/3. Zombie horror. It has Skulk. Okay, so just in case people aren't familiar with Skulk, this creature cannot be blocked by creatures with greater power. Okay, so if you have a 4 or above, you cannot block this guy. All right. At the beginning of your upkeep, which is what I care about, you may discard all the cards in your hand, and if you do, you draw that many cards.
It is a really nice card. That would work really well in here, and the mana cost is fairly reasonable.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I like the wheelie effect of repeatable things, like with the creatures. Like for Magnets of the Wheel, great card, but it's one and done. Okay, Forgotten Creation keeps on going, and people are like, not a big deal, So.
And that's what Dan mentioned in the chat. It's a personal windfall. Like,
Yep.
just every upkeep. I don't need these.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's the thing. I don't have Windfall in this deck, so because I'd rather have something that's repeatable.
makes sense.
And yeah, and I don't want other people to gain the advantage as much as I can gain the advantage for going through my deck. So, I have the new Gabby Nest Warden in this deck as well, just because whenever you draw your second card each turn, you create a 2/2 red-white dinosaur cat creature token.
So
I do. And that's the thing, with a lot of the spells and a lot of the creatures I have, I'm drawing at least 2 cards.
Just to quickly interrupt you, sorry. Just in the chat there, someone did mention a really easy combo with Bralin is just Curiosity and 8 cards in hand at discard step. Because that'll be able to go through the whole deck and kill everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even stronger than Niv Mizzet, yeah.
Yeah. I knew of that combo with Curiosity. I chose not to put it in. It is me. I don't care much for the easy wins in that sense. Brian and Dan, you guys know that's the case with me constantly. I could go for this weird combo that's a 2-card combo, 3-card combo. I normally don't. I normally go for the 6-card, 12-card combos, right? Because it's just more fun that way. So, but Curiosity is something that a lot of people will put in here. I did not put it in this deck list just because it's just too easy, I find. So,
and honestly, these. All of the partners are pretty borderline competitive because you are in really good control colors right now.
Oh yeah.
And again, this is that is a 1-card comboable win with Bralin.
Yeah.
I might take a shot at the control deck with it because it is cool. I definitely like the theme of the Eternalize and stuff. I never would have thought to put that in because those are good cards to discard and get rid of.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, this deck, I make it easy for you to decide what to ditch. Okay, so I have things that have Eternalize, I have Embalm, I have Flashback, I have Jumpstart. I make it very clear what you want to get rid of, okay? Because you just don't care. I look at it as a second chance. Okay, you didn't get to cast this the first time. That's fine. You have a second chance to cast it. Not a big deal. So, but yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, you'll see this a lot more with the sorceries and instant speeds, because those are things that have flashback, have jump start and everything. Creatures in your hand are going to have like the Eternalize and the Balm and everything. So, but carrying on, I do have Jason's Archivist in here. So another Wheeling deal.
Yeah.
I do have the Lab Maniac win here, just because you're going through.
Yeah, it's that value added. If I actually get to this point, I can play him, and maybe I'll win.
Yeah. So not a big deal, and he is a creature, so he's easy to get rid of. So it's not like guaranteed win where no one else can interact. I don't have like Teferi in here where I'm saying no one can play instants of sorceries. No, I'm giving everyone a chance. If I put out the Lab Maniac and I'm about to win, I'm giving everyone a chance to get rid of it and making it so that I lose because I draw nothing now. So
Yep.
but it's it's a gamble. I have other things like Merchant on the Veil, Mercurial Chemister, but this one is what I like here. Nizal, Primal Tide. Okay, 5 blue, 7/7. Okay, it cannot be countered, and I technically have no max hand size, which is not a big deal. Excuse me, because I'm literally drawing and discarding based off the effects of things. So I still get to discard. Now, but what I like is that I can discard 3 cards. I exile Nizal, and I return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control, which is myself, at the beginning of the next end step. So it's another discard outlet, and it's protected from a lot of things. Like as long as I have 3 cards in my hand, it's protected from a lot of things for like board wipes and stuff like that. And then if someone tries to board wipe and I exile it, like I blink it and it comes back, now no one has defenses and it's a 7/7.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So,
Especially a 7/7 with all of these abilities for 7 mana. Like it actually seems like
yeah,
a well-rounded card.
yeah. So I love that card. Like I have Merchant of Veil and or Red of Mountain's Blaze. Both of those creatures, you pay 2 in the red, and you discard a card and you draw a card. It is not a tap ability, so I can if I have the mana, I can do it again and again and again. It's not a big deal.
It's amazing. You actually
So
have the Ox that we all said was garbage when we first saw it in
yeah,
here.
that is an
It's
ability that
actually it's actually pretty solid in a few decks. I thought it sucked initially, but
No, like
I
its price apparently went up like when it first released, and then like we're
because it's
like,
a
oh
strong card.
yeah, we were all surprised.
I hope Riel went down in price because that's one of the ones I want to make shortly. That deck just looks like a blast.
I do I do have the Ox in here. I have I think 3 creatures with escape in this deck, and the Ox is one of them. The reason why I have the Ox in here is because I actually have the Ox. I am planning to build this deck once I get my commander sets. So, but so like yeah, I have cards that I discard and I want to bring back, but there's other cards where like it's one and done,
hmm
you know. Or if I discard a land, I don't care. I'm not able to bring them back. So I'm using creatures that have escape costs to use my graveyard as a resource again. So, and yeah, I just don't care. So I have the Oxen here. I have the Phoenix, Phoenix of Ash. Um, it has an escape cost as well. So so the Oxen's escape cost is like 2 red, but you have to exile like 7 or 8 cards. The Phoenix of Ash's escape cost is 2 red, and you only have to exile 3 cards from the graveyard, and it's a 2/2 flying haste. So that's it's more reasonable, but at the same time, like it depends on the situation, right? I have Riel the Everwise. I really, really want this card, and I still think it's one of the most broken commander cards ever. So broken. Seriously.
How broken?
Okay. So broken. I wrote an article about it because it's so like it's like I cannot understand how this got past R&D. The Real to Everwise, for anyone that doesn't know, one blue red, okay? It gets a +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Okay ability, we've seen that before, not a big deal. Oh, it's a 0/3 also. So but whenever you discard one or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards. That's broken. Okay.
So if you mill at the
Granted,
beginning, so if you have that zombie out, what was it? The
yeah.
Forgotten
What are,
Creation, and then you discard
yeah.
your hand, you draw the 7 cards off of him, and then you draw another 7 cards. Is that how I'm
Yeah.
reading that?
Yep. So, but it's only the first time, right? So, but that's not a big deal. So, a lot of people that have been brewing Riel, I would do the same thing. So, like Firestorm, it's a 1 red instant, okay, where you discard as many cards as you want, and for each, you choose that many targets, and each of those targets takes that much damage. So, if you discard 5 cards, okay, you choose 5 targets, each one takes 5 damage.
That's disgusting.
But with Riel, you draw 5 cards again. It's like, okay, fine, I'll get rid of this mountain, I'll get rid of this other mountain, I'll get rid of this island, I'll get rid of this creature I don't care about, and I'll get rid of one more thing, okay? So three of your opponents will take 5 damage plus destroy 2 more creatures, and you refill your hand. It's so silly. It's so broken. I cannot stop talking about this, so I will keep on going because I really, really, really do not like Riel. I like Riel, but he's just too broken. So anyway,
it looks like next you have the Senate Guild Mage, which is
yeah,
only a 2-drop, but it looks like it's be able to gain you life and cause you to draw a card and then discard a card, which is going
yeah,
to really, again, proc your 2 commanders, which I'm going to assume that they're going to be the ones that are going to be going and hitting your opponents.
yeah. For the most part, this is almost like a Voltron-y kind of deck. So, um, but that's what it's designed to do. Okay, like I want Bralin and Shabraz to keep on attacking. I want to get them big. Anything that allows me to as you can see, the majority of the stuff that you see on these creatures for drawing and discarding is how can you say, it's like instant speed stuff. Yep. Okay, I am literally treating the draw and discard as combat tricks. Okay, so because when you see like Bralin and Shabraz and they're coming in and they're like both 3/3s, they're like, okay, I'll block with this 5/5. All right, now I've discarded 3 cards and I've drawn 3 cards. Now they both get +3/+3, and I'm going to destroy things. So it's like basically throwing down a giant growth, and we all know how annoying giant growth is. So for just one mana, I'm doing the same thing here. So everything is kind of designed around it being a combat trick. So you have to block, and the moment those blockers are gone, then I'm going in for the kill. So, but that's the Senate Guild Mage. The Shocker came back at this point in time because we've reached that. We've already talked about that. I have Timid Vizier of Naktamun. Okay, it's 1 in a blue. It's a 2/2. Legendary creature, human cleric. Okay, at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature token you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn and cannot be blocked. And it has Embalm. Yay! Like I said, making it easy to choose which ones you don't care about and just tossing it away. And sometimes you will bring stuff back. Now, I have Timid in here because I do have Godpharaoh's Gift in the artifacts. Okay, so Godpharaoh's Gift, we might as well talk about it now. It's a 7 mana cost, so it's expensive, or it's a high mana cost. But before, was it? during
At
the
the
card
beginning of
or
combat on your turn, you may
thank you.
exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. It gains haste until end of turn. This is essentially a Scarab God without being a creature.
Yeah. So pretty much, and that's the thing. Like I have so many creatures, I can bring them back. Like all these creatures are weak. Okay, they're like 1/1s, 1/2s, 2/2s, things like that.
And then you
So
boost them to a 4/4
yeah,
with all
right.
their
And
abilities.
yeah, and I don't have to use their abilities. I can just straight out attack because 4 is nothing to scoff at.
Yep.
Okay, it's a decent power and toughness. All right. But at the same time, this next card is really really fun. It is Tashar, Ancestor's Apostle. Okay, flying. Whenever you cast a historic spell. So once again, historics are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. Tashar says, whenever you cast a historic spell, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah.
So that's quite a bit.
That's a
Now
lot
I
of your cards,
really don't
actually.
care. Yeah, it is the majority of the cards. Okay, once again, making it easy. You don't have to think very, very hard about what to discard. I'm trying to make this easy mode. Okay, and then I have Locust God, yada, yada, yada. We'll skip Locust God because we all know what Locust God does. Underworld
Great
Rage
card.
Hound. I love Locust God just because, like, like it just keeps on coming back. And, like, you're drawing a lot, so you're going to make a bunch of Locusts. But anyways, the next card, Underworld Rage Hound. Okay, one of the new ones from Theros. Okay, 1 in a red. This one, once again, has the escape ability. That's what I really care about. It attacks each turn if able, and it's a 3/1. So it will die like crazy. But if I escape with it, okay, and I have to exile 3 cards for a 3 in a red, it gets a +1/+1 counter on it when it comes in. So when I escape, it's going to be a 4/2. Once again, 4 damage. I can either take out something that's fairly big, or 4 damage is quite a bit still.
One of our viewers asked Sherman, how many historic spells are you reliably casting?
Let's see. There's probably around like 25 in here. I think I didn't do a full count. There's 15
So it's about
artifacts for sure.
a quarter of your deck is historic spells.
Yeah. So Tashar is like not like it's kind of like an extra value for no real reason, right? But you got to remember, like even though like I don't have that many historic spells, I am turning through my deck quickly because I'm drawing and I am discarding. So I will get to those cards if need be. Plus, you do have repeatable historic, which is your commander. Okay. Now, normally, if you have one commander and you're recasting it constantly, it gets expensive. But the advantage of partners is that if one gets too expensive, you can always rely on the other one.
Yep.
Okay. So effectively, Tashar is a little bit better in a partner's deck than a regular commander deck because of that. Okay. I don't have to have a historic manners deck. I just have to have it so that everything is a decent cost and I can bring back and flood the board. So hopefully that answers your question. Where were we? Okay. So I have Zero Tumbling Sands, which basically cycles, and I can tap it to untap or untap a permanent. It doesn't matter. I have a Wharf Infiltrator. Now, Wharf Infiltrator is interesting. It's a 1 in a blue. Okay, it has Skulk again, so it cannot be blocked by things that are greater in powers, and it's a 1/1. Okay, so already you know most of the time it will get in. Now, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card, and if you do, you can discard a card. So you're already looting, which is really nice. But whenever you discard a card, you may pay 2 mana. Okay, and if you do, you can put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi creature token onto the battlefield. And that's what I care about.
That's incredible.
Okay?
That's cheap for a
Yeah.
3/2.
It's really, really cheap, okay?
And you're doing so
So,
much discarding.
yeah, I don't have to attack with this infiltrator. He can just sit back. I really don't care. Right? But 2 mana for a 3/2 that, and I'm constantly discarding stuff. It's an awesome card. It's a valuable card, value engine. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's all the creatures pretty much. Okay, and then let's go with the sorceries real fast because there's only 7 sorceries. We have a lot more. We have 15 instants, 7 sorceries. Okay, so sorceries going first. We have Deep Analysis. Okay, Deep Analysis is a 3 in a blue. Okay, sorcery speed. Target player draws 2 cards. Okay, that's it. But it has flashback for 1 in a blue, and you pay 3 life. That's what I care about. Okay, don't care about the 3 life. I care about paying 2 mana to draw 2 cards. Okay. So once again, that's just one of those cards where you just discard and just bring back. Divine Reckoning. Okay, is a 2 white sorcery. Each player chooses a creature they control. Destroy the rest. Very, very simple. Once again, this one has flashback. 5 white. Same deal. Okay, so for 7 mana, bring it back, choose a creature, board wipe again. Love it. Okay, I have Dusk and Dawn in here. Okay, so Dusk is 2 white, destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. So it'll probably kill our commanders, unfortunately, at this point in time. But what I care about as well is Dawn. Okay, the aftermath. Once again, if I am throwing stuff in the graveyard, okay, if I keep Dawn to wipe out creatures, perfect, not a big deal. But Dawn allows me to cast for 3 white, return all creature cards with power 2 or less from my graveyard to my hand. That's a lot of cards.
Yeah.
That's a lot of creatures that I have.
Yep. That's
Right?
really nice, actually.
Yeah. I have Faithless Looting. Most of us already know what Faithless Looting is. For 1 red, draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, and it has flashback 2 in a red. Okay, we won't go into much there. Mass Dismissal is probably one of my favorite cards in this whole deck.
Diminish?
Just because, Mass Diminish, sorry. Just because it's so silly. Okay, and it's really, really powerful. It's 1 in a blue. Okay, until your next turn. Creatures target player controls have base power and toughness 1/1. Okay, so they're all 1/1s. Shabraz gives Bralin trample or flying, and Bralin can give Shabraz trample if need be. So
Yeah,
it's really silly this
that's
deck.
a really easy way to get your damage through. It's almost
Yeah.
like the sudden spoiling in black, turning all creatures into a 0/1.
Yeah, exactly. And this also has flashback for 3 in a blue. Okay, so for 4 mana, you can do this again. Not a big deal.
Your opponent would not enjoy that.
No, no. So, maximize velocity. 1 red, sorcery. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. Not a big deal. This one has Jumpstart though. So, and that's why I have it. So, Jumpstart, just in case anyone that forgets or doesn't know what it is, you may cast this card from the graveyard by discarding a card in addition to playing its other cost. Then exile that card. Okay?
Yeah.
So, I can bring out a commander, I can bring out something, give it haste, and then I can give something else haste if need be, stuff like that. And the last one is Mystical Revival. So it's a 3 in a blue. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Just because it's repeatable, it's nice, it's fun. And this also has flashback for 2 in a red. I really, really, really wish this card did not have 2 in a red because it would go into my book tribal, but that's besides the point. So, instance. I'm just going to cover
the important ones.
instance that, the important ones. Okay, so Boros Charm. Boros Charm is red and a white. Okay, choose one. It deals either 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. Permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn.
So for that,
The important one, people.
Yeah.
That's an important one. And target creature gains double strike until end of turn, which is also
very important.
Double strike. Yeah, especially with commanders because they're getting big. Okay, imagine like even if it's six damage coming in, and you're like, okay, someone takes it, fine, double strike it. Who cares when it's the indestructible part? Just double strike it. That's 12 damage. Now they have to worry about commander damage in the future because they know it's going to get bigger.
Yeah.
So, um, let's see what else. Channeled Force is an interesting card from the new set. I'm interested in seeing how well it does, and I want to get other people's opinions on this because I think it is a really, really interesting card. Okay, so Channeled Force is from the new Ikoria set. 2 blue and a red. Instant speed. As an additional cost to cast a spell, discard X cards. Okay. Target player draws X cards, and Channel Force deals X damage to up to one target creature or planeswalker. I find this very, very, very interesting. I like the fact that they did not say any target. It has to be a creature or planeswalker. But for 4 mana to basically get rid of whatever you want and draw that many and do a bunch of damage, I like that concept, and I want to see what other people feel about this card because I'm still on a boat. I haven't played it at all, so I want to see what people have to say.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting new card, and I'm interested to see how it's going to be used.
Yeah. So I have Chemist's Insight where it has Jumpstart. It lets you draw 2 cards. I have your traditional counter spell. I have your Countervailing Winds, which is also a counter spell, but it depends. Let me just read it instead. Counter target spell unless its control pays 1 mana for each card in your graveyard, and it has cycling. So I can either get rid of it or I can actually use it. And even though I'm getting rid of stuff from my graveyard, even if I have an extra 4, if I have 4 cards in the graveyard, that's 4 extra mana someone has to pay. That doesn't. Most people don't really have 4 mana when they're extra 4 mana when they're casting something. That's really, really strong.
Some people don't even have the 1 mana for that stupid counter spell. You have to pay 1 more.
It's true. It's true. So, and like that, I know that some people would probably be like, well, you're getting rid of stuff, you're exiling stuff from your graveyard, all that stuff. You know what? It doesn't matter. Sometimes those 2 cards in the graveyard is all that takes to counter a spell, regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. And the fact that it has cycling and I can get rid of it, I like it. Desperate Ravings, 1 in a red, draw 2 cards and discard a card at random. So big risk here, but it also has flashback 2 in a blue to do it again. Once again, these are all instant spells. So I'm treating literally all of these as combat tricks, okay, to pump up your creatures.
Okay, yeah.
I have Farm and Market, so another one with a regular spell and Aftermath. So Farm is destroy target attacking or blocking creature, and Market is 2 in a blue, and for the Aftermath, and draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. Okay, that one is a sorcery speed though. Farm is instant, Market is sorcery speed. So, but still, once again, I get to use, just anytime I want. Things like Frantic Search is really, really important because I get to draw 2, discard 2, and untap 3 lands. So, let's see here. And then like the
I have to say, I love those cards that let you cast them for free, basically.
Yeah. So like that's what most of the instants do. So so I have also like Is It Charm, Thirst for Knowledge, Thirst for Meaning, Throw a Possibility, Tragic Lesson. All these are like basically draw, discard. Okay. So basically, whether you have Bralin out or Shabraz out or both, it does not matter. Each of these cards will work with one or the other. Okay. Now, traditionally with partner cards, okay, most spells either benefit one of the partners. Okay, they don't benefit both most of the time. So you either build your decks based around more alongside of one commander, or you have to have both out for it to synergize really well. So Bralin and Shabraz is one of the special cases where I found that you can have either or out, and cards will just work with it. It doesn't matter. So, and the deck is designed around that. So, whether if I have Bralin out and Shabraz just died too many times, it's too expensive, can't bring it out anymore, or someone took control of it, no problem. I can, every single card in here, or the majority of the cards here, will still work with Bralin. If someone takes Bralin and Shabraz is out instead, and that's all I can do is have Shabraz, not a big deal. Once again, I can just use whatever spells and everything, draw, discard. Shabraz is going to get bigger. I'm going to gain life. Really don't care which commander I have.
Yeah, I'd
They're
say the
both
synergy,
fantastic.
the synergy with the cards that you selected that are within this deck, they really benefit both of your commanders with either the draw or the discard. Because a lot of them
Yeah,
draw two, discard two. You can get rid of the cards that you don't want. Keep the cards that you are can either say get your commander through for damage, things along those lines. Like I really like the cards that you put in for your sorceries and your instances to benefit your commanders.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like I, like Brian, I know you said you've never really built a partner commander
No, I have
before.
not even touched a commander. My first one's going to be the Trin and Silvar, because
Yeah.
Daniel's deck tech kind of really blew me out of the water.
So
Plus,
Very fun
so
deck, yeah.
I like indestructible big stompy creatures.
well, of course, you always do.
Don't we all though?
Yeah. But I know, like Dan, you've made plenty of partner commanders. Um, and you could probably attest to this, that when you build decks, especially like when you build it, you normally have spells or creatures or whatever that benefit one or the other. You rarely have them benefiting both. It's
No,
not
I
often
always
that
build
you
them
do.
for both. Every time
Oh,
I build them so that they both, like, I treat them both like they're the commander.
no. I mean like for like the spells themselves. Like
Oh,
if
okay,
you
yeah.
cast, yeah. So
I see what you mean, yeah.
yeah, because like when I had I still have actually. I haven't taken it apart yet. My Regna Crab deck. I found that to be the problem is because like when I had something, it would benefit one commander, but not really much of the other, right? Because Regna cared about life gain, Kraft cared about sacrificing creatures. Like so, when they're both out, they work well together. But if I had something like a Soul Sister out, okay, Regna would benefit, Crab not really,
Because you don't want to
right? Crab
sacrifice
just
it.
yeah, I'm not going to sacrifice it to Crab, but having a Soul Sister out where Ragnar will let me gain soldiers each turn or each end step for each player. If they cast a creature, it's so big that I have to have it in. So, and that's why with Shabraz and Bralin, the majority, like they're fantastic partners because no matter who's out, the majority of these cards will work for either of them. So, and that's what this whole deck is built around. But we still have artifacts to go through. So we're not even done yet.
Yeah, we
But
just hit that hour mark, so yeah, we should still be good.
oh, really? It's
Yeah,
been an hour? I thought
yeah,
it's been like
we've chatted a lot
20
about
minutes, 30
creatures.
minutes.
Yeah, it seems that
Oh
long,
man.
right?
See, this is what happens, everyone. Everyone's like, "Oh, how do you guys keep track of time?" We don't keep track of time. We just keep talking. So,
That's what
but
we're good
anyways,
at.
artifacts won't take long. There's only 15 artifacts. Okay, I'm going to ignore the mana rocks here, just cause. But like, God Pharaoh's Gift is an important one, because it does allow me to bring back a lot of the creatures and repeat the whole process again. Okay, makes it difficult to get rid of the creatures. It forces you to either get rid of my graveyard or exile my creatures the first time. Okay, I have Hazardous Monument. So Hazardous Monument, 3 mana. Hey, red creature spells I cast cost 1 less to cast. Great benefit. If I get it, great. If not, not a big deal. What I care about is the second ability, where whenever you cast a creature spell, you may discard a card, and if you do, draw a card. Now, I know that I only have like 25 creatures here. It doesn't matter. I'm turning through my deck so fast that I will get those creatures. It does not matter. And plus, once again, I have two commanders. They will die. They definitely will die. I need to bring them back. Okay, and when I bring them back, I can totally do this. Okay, but remember, this is a cast trigger, so they will not get the benefit from the draw or discard before they hit the battlefield, though. Remember that, people. I have your usual stuff: Lightning Greaves, the Neurok Stealth Suit. I have the Sorcerer's Wand and a Viridian Longbow. Now, those are the equipments I was mentioning earlier with the Barb Shocker and the Shocker, where you attach the equipment to the creature, and you can tap it to ping something. Mostly yourself, because once again, you can just do that and then discard your hand, draw that many cards. Brallin and Shabraz get bigger. Now, at the same time, that is technically an alternate win condition, because if someone else is going through their deck really, really quickly, just ping them instead, force them to discard their hand and draw a new hand. Same deal if you know they've tutored. Okay, they've tutored, or they've been sitting there, they haven't been doing much. They're sandbagging. Once again, ping them for the 1 damage, let them wheel their hand, get rid of all those cards, and you're happy. And then obviously I have Whisper Silk Cloak in here to make either Bralin or Shabraz unblockable. Lands going to be the usual things, I do have a lot of cycling in the lands here, because might as well.
Well, if you don't need them later game, and that just adds bonus to your commanders, to that discard and the draw. So cycling works fine for these two.
Cycling works fine. Because I have those in there, this deck is a little bit slower because the majority of the cycling lands, when they come into play tapped. Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing, but at the same time, the cost benefit is there. Okay, so it's better to have them in the deck, because later in the game I will be I'm drawing so much, I don't want dead cards. You will see a lot of these lands, and you just want to get rid of them. You just don't care.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that is the deck. I really do want to see what other people brew up here and what you guys think, what you guys would discard or get rid of and put in. And keep in mind, once again, I know one day I will break that budget mentality, but this is under $100 right now. So it is a budget deck.
By 7 cents.
It's still under 100.
Yeah, that's true.
Still under.
Yeah, so if you guys have any feedback on Sherman's deck list that he has here, we'll put it in. Where will we?
Yeah, it'll be the description and everything.
Yeah, we'll be having it in the description for the podcast, as well as we'll probably most likely do like a deck tech blog post of some sort with the list and everything there. So feel free to check out our website, our Discord server. We can post it in there as well. Like any way that you want to get in chat with us, we have all our social media accounts. Feel free to reach out. We love talking Magic.
Oh, of course, yeah. And yeah, make sure you check out the stream we do every week. It's Wednesday,
5 p.m.
And later today, if you're interested, I'll be streaming with the Cardstock Broker some games. They do votes every week on who plays what, so you can vote on whatever commander you want to see people play. And yeah, it'll be a very fun time.
I think today's stream is going to be interesting. I think 3 of that snake creature, the snake commander guy.
Yeah, I think 3 people are playing Xeris.
Wow.
Yeah, that game's gonna get out of hand.
Nice. That is such an interesting commander, I have to say.
It's group hug, Sherman.
Group hug.
That's what I said.
It is group hug though.
But we will.
Not the way you play.
Well, he says it's a group hug because it allows the draw. It lets you draw. But we'll leave you guys with that. Feel free to reach out, and we hope you guys have a great day.
All right, catch you later.
Bye, guys.